Die Südpolshow.
Hello, Docter and Jonas Rivera.
Hello.
We are glad to meet you here in Munich today. Are you ready for the Oktoberfest and our many questions?
Yes, we are ready for Oktoberfest.
In that order.
And we are ready for many questions. Please bring them both to us now.
Could you please introduce yourself to our listeners with your name and your profession?
Yes. My name is Pete Docter. I was the director of Monsters, Inc. Up and now Inside Out.
And I'm Jonas Rivera. I'm the producer of Inside Out from Pixar Animation.
We are the radio reporters from the Südpolshow on 92.4. You can hear us on 92.4 in and around Munich. You're the animation movie director from the new movie called Inside Out. Could you tell us the German title?
It's Alles steht Kopf. How's my pronunciation? Sound all right?
I'm glad that was your question.
How long did it take to produce the film?
It took 5 years from when Pete first pitched the original idea until now, so long time.
How long does an animation movie usually take to make?
At
About
Pixar,
5 years.
Yeah, at Pixar, the average is about 5 years. I mean, a lot of that is writing and just story. This was about 3 years of just writing and rewriting and redoing it, and then about 2 years to animate it and produce the actual shots.
Was there ever a moment where you thought that you might not that it would take way longer than 5 years to make?
Oh.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, there were moments where we thought even maybe we should stop making it. Because, I mean, and that's part of the process of making a movie is you learn from it and you try to make it better. But, of course, no matter what you're making, songs or music or TV shows, writing books, I think you're always trying to improve it. And I think most artists would tell you that there are points along the way that get a little tough.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys. When I watched movies, I always thought that somebody just thought of it and then they would make it, right? That you just come up with the idea and somehow it all appears in somebody's head. The truth is, it shows up in little pieces, and you have this idea, and then you add this character, and then that one needs to be changed, and you add this other idea, and then you take that away, and so it's a very fluid, kind of a messy, it's almost like sculpting something with little blobs of clay or something.
So how was it in that case? So how did the story develop? How was the story shaped? And maybe what was your original idea in comparison to what it is now?
Yeah, well, the first idea I had was using emotions as characters and trying to explain what's going on inside your head as you grow up, right? And so I thought, that sounds interesting. I think we could have some really fun characters and maybe take people to places that they've sort of thought about or explain things that people have questions about, like why does that song get stuck in your head sometimes and where do dreams come from and that kind of thing. And so with not much more than that, Jonas and I pitched it to John Lasseter, who is the creative head of the company at Pixar, and he agreed that it sounded good. So we started developing it with a couple other people. And slowly you come up with ideas like, oh, well, what if joy and sadness get thrown out of a place where they work? What should that be called? Ronnie came up with this idea, well, headquarters. Yeah. So then what if they get to go to long-term memory? What would that look like? What do memories look like? So we develop one little idea at a time.
And we'd say, oh, I just lost my train of thought. Hold on. And people goes, that's a good idea. Train of thought. We could actually have a train that collects thoughts. So you just come up with ideas, and some of them work, some of them don't. Slowly but surely, it starts to form the movie you're making.
We had one idea that I thought was cool, where they went to a place called music cognition. Like if you listen to music, you get into it, it makes you laugh or dance or cry or whatever. If you play music to a dog, it's just like noise, right? You can tell the dog doesn't really care. It doesn't understand music. So there must be a place in your mind that we start understanding music. And we thought, what if our characters go there? And Joy starts speaking like with a violin instead of words, and Joy. So we developed this whole idea. It was really cool, but then we cut it out because it didn't work for the story. So sometimes you go for a long time and you do a lot of work on these things and then cut the whole thing. It's just what happens.
So, if it's so complicated being an animation director, why did you choose to become one?
Because I love the idea of bringing things to life and telling stories about us. But so, like, all of our films, whether it's cars or monsters or bugs or whatever, our movies are really about us and our real lives. So we kind of get to disguise and we get to create these characters that don't exist. And everybody knows that they're fake. But if you really watch the movie and we do our job right, you start to believe in these characters and they almost like become real. And I don't know, I find that just amazing.
Na, wie war der erste Tag in der neuen Schule?
Er war, glaube ich, ganz okay. Keine Ahnung.
Seht ihr manchmal jemanden an und fragt euch, was geht wohl in seinem Kopf vor?
Mädels, habt ihr das mitgekriegt?
Ja, klar doch. Irgendwas stimmt nicht.
Wir gehen der Sache mal auf den Grund. Aber wir brauchen Unterstützung. Signal an den Mann.
Oh, sie sieht uns an. Was hat sie gesagt?
Was? Oh, sorry, Sir, niemand hat zugehört.
Muss der Müll noch raus? War die Klobrille noch oben? Was? Was willst du, Frau? Was?
Schick ihm noch ein Signal.
Ah, und? Riley, wie war die neue Schule?
Echt jetzt? Oh, ständig.
Dafür haben wir den brasilianischen Piloten observiert?
Oh Mann, die Schule war toll.
Was war das denn? Wollten wir nicht so tun, als wäre alles okay?
Riley, ist alles in Ordnung?
Sir, sie hat einfach die Augen verdreht.
Na schön, ein kleiner Schuss von Bug. Ich will nicht gleich ein Machtwort sprechen.
Nein, kein Machtwort.
Riley, dieser neue Ton gefällt mir nicht.
Oh, ich zeig den neuen Ton, Alter. Nein, ruhig atmen.
Was ist dein Problem? Lass mich einfach in Ruhe.
Sir, melde hohe Aggressionswerte.
Höchste Alarmbereitschaft.
Alarmstufe Rot.
Ich weiß nicht, woher auf einmal dieser respektlose Ton kommt.
Du willst dich mit mir anlegen, Paps?
Ja? Weißt du?
Machtwort vorbereiten.
Schlüssel auf Sicherheitsposition. Bereit zum Start. Auf Ihr Kommando, Sir.
Oh Mann, nerv mich nicht!
Feuer!
Jetzt reicht's. Auf dein Zimmer.
Machtwort gesprochen. Machtwort gesprochen.
Ja! Gute Arbeit, Gentlemen. Haarscharf an einer Katastrophe vorbei.
Das war ja mal eine Katastrophe.
The film is based on a true story you had experienced in your life with your daughter. So, what was the reason for you to make this to a movie or to create a movie out of that experience?
Yeah, I was watching my daughter who is about 11. I don't know, how old are you guys? 13. Okay. So I don't know if maybe you have younger brothers or sisters or have watched this, but like really little kids are just goofy and funny and they lie on the floor and they act a certain way. And then as you get older, you start being a little more quiet and you change, you become an adult. And that's what my daughter, I was watching that with her and I thought, wow, I wonder what happens inside your head while that's going on. And when I talked to Jonas, because he's got kids too, he's got younger kids.
Yeah, my kids are smaller, and that touched me in an emotional way because as parents, someday you guys will feel this too, you don't want that change to happen in a way, even though it's natural and it's going to. There's something about wanting to stay little and keep your kids little and keep them happy, and that idea, Pete observing his daughter, really was kind of the nugget that fueled the story.
Yeah, you guys might have had this experience where your parents look at pictures of you as a little kid and you're like, oh, you were so cute. What happened to you? And that's, I think, what parents kind of want to hold on to their little kids sometimes.
And I remember it was kind of funny because my kids were really small, and I would come home or come to work, and my baby would be crying all night, and I would look terrible, and I was exhausted, and I said, oh, I had a horrible night. The baby cried all night, and Pete said, oh, I miss those days.
Yeah.
And so I knew it's important.
Pete, which emotion made overtime during the process to make the film Inside Out?
Which emotion made overtime? Well, I would say joy. Joy was the hardest to create. Anger was, I won't say easiest, but he kind of showed up first. Joy, when we first wrote Joy, she was upbeat and positive and energetic, and she never stopped, and you just kind of got tired being around her, you just kind of got sick of her. And so we really had to find ways to make her appealing and still exhibit all the qualities that Joy has, but a little more relatable.
Jonas, you as a producer, which emotions were struggling in your head while making this movie?
Good question. I think Probably joy, because I was so happy and excited. I'm very positive, but also a little anger because it's hard and it's frustrating and it goes slower than you want it to go. And so those two did a little battle in my head along the way. Now it's all joy because the movie's done.
Joy, fear, anger, disgust, and sadness. Why are there only 5 emotions? I have many more in my head.
Do you? How many would you guess that you have in your head?
I'm not sure how many, but I bet there's like way more.
Well, we started the film because we didn't know, and we made a list of our own, but we thought, well, maybe we should talk to scientists, somebody who have studied this for a long time. And the weird thing was, one guy we talked to said that there were 4, that all of the human emotions can basically be reduced to 4 simple emotions. Another guy said 27. And another guy said 16. So we don't know what the real answer is. Apparently scientists don't even agree. So we decided, well, what would be right for our story? That's kind of how we made up the decision to do 5. And we played around. We had some other ones. Like we had pride early on. Hope. Pride and hope. Pride was sort of, he had an upturned nose, and he would walk around saying, well, clearly Riley is the smartest one in this class. I think she should be the president, And he was very pleased with her. But we thought, well, you know what? Actually, joy would be, it would be nice for her to be able to say that. So we got rid of pride, and same with hope. And so a lot of times things just worked out best for the story. That's why we made the decision to just have the 5.
How has Dr. Keltner helped exactly to produce the film? Is he an expert in research concerning emotions?
Yeah, he is actually. He's a professor at Cal Berkeley, by where we live, and he was one of the people we reached out to, I think because we wanted to, one, educate ourselves on the topic and the mind and emotions, and as Pete said, what they actually are and how many there are and so forth. And 2, we just wanted the movie, even though it was going to be fantastic, made up, and a comedy, we wanted it to be rooted in truth and in some sort of science so that it would be believable. And so he helped us with that a great deal.
Yeah.
Each emotion's design is based on a shape. Joy is a star, sadness is a teardrop, fear is a raw nerve, anger is a fire brick, and disgust is broccoli. Why did you choose the symbol broccoli for disgust?
We started with some other ones like triangles and things, but as we started to draw more, the broccoli seemed like it was a good shape that also sort of looked like a person.
Yeah, and our kids happen to hate broccoli, so we just, I can't get them to eat it, and so we thought that would work. Do you like broccoli? No. Okay, there you go.
Every kid hates broccoli.
That's what we thought. We apologize for any broccoli farmers listening to the radio.
Yes. We like broccoli, Jonas and
Of course.
So, jetzt schön aufmachen.
Irgendwas Neues.
Das ist gefährlich.
Was ist das?
Okay, höchste Alarmbereitschaft. Gefährlicher Geruch, meine Freunde. Sekunde, was ist das?
Das ist Ekel. Sie beschützt Riley hauptsächlich davor, vergiftet zu werden. Körperlich und gesellschaftlich.
Das ist weder bunt noch in Dinosaurierform. Augenblick, Leute. Das ist Brokkoli. Tja, ich habe uns gerade das Leben gerettet. Ja, keine Ursache.
Wenn du dein Abendessen nicht isst, dann gibt es keinen Nachtisch.
Was? Hat er gerade gesagt, wir kriegen keinen Nachtisch?
Das ist Wut. Ihm ist es sehr wichtig, dass es gerecht zugeht.
Du kommst mir also auf die Tour, alter Mann? Kein Nachtisch? Ganz wie du willst. Wir schlucken unser Essen, aber erst schluckst du das hier. Ah!
Hey, Riley, hier kommt ein Flugzeug.
Oh, Flugzeug. Wir haben ein Flugzeug, seht mal. Flugzeug.
Which emotion is your favorite and why?
Well, joy is probably my favorite, maybe because she was the hardest to do. So there's a certain sense of pride of accomplishment, I think, But each one of them has a different reason for being fun. I liked Fear was a lot of fun to animate because he moves around like a wild, crazy, character. Yeah. Anger was really fun to write for because, I don't know, it's just fun being angry, I think.
It'll be boring, but Joy is my favorite because she's beautiful and she's optimistic and she's a nostalgic. She loves memories, and I love that as well.
Sadness is cool too.
Yeah.
Okay, so
all of them tie.
Favorite.
Tie for first 5-way tie.
Even though the story is based on a true story experience and that you experienced with your daughter, you could have chosen the protagonist to be a boy. Why did you choose it to be a girl?
Pretty much because I have a daughter, and I think that's we you know what else? We also talked to some psychologists who said that there is no one on earth that's more socially attuned and aware than like 11 to 17-year-old girls. They're very especially tuned in. And so we thought, all right, well, that's probably right then, that she'd be a girl.
What does your daughter Ellie think about the film?
She likes it. She watched it, and she gave it the thumbs up. What's funny is my son, I have an older son too, Nicholas, and she came out and she said, that Ellie didn't look at all like me. And Nicholas said, are you kidding? It's totally you. It's totally you. So there's a little disagreement there.
Okay, so Jonas, you as a kind of popular person, do you feel that in your life the joy comes way too much and the sadness comes too short?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think that's one of the things that makes the movie truthful, is that most people, including myself, will do almost anything to not be sad. We try to avoid sadness, and I think what we learned while making the movie is that's not necessarily right. Sometimes things are sad, and that it's okay to be sad. But it's easy to say that, and it's hard to live that way. And so, yeah, to be honest with you, I am happy, and I love being happy. And but you know, like most people, I probably would be better off if I let sadness drive a few more times. Like right now, if I start to cry, would that be okay?
Sadly, we've come to an end, and sadness is starting to seep in through us. But we would have had more questions, but sadly, time is over. So, would you be so kind to greet our audience?
Okay, Südpol, is that how you pronounce it? Yeah, okay. Let's see. Guten Tag, Südpol listeners. My name is Pete Docter.
I'm Jonas Rivera. We're from Pixar Animation Studios.
And we hope you go see Inside Out.
That's right. We worked very hard. We're very proud of it. And thanks for listening.